Hello, welcome to Oracle DBA 02pro.com. This is Hassan Mir. In this tutorial, I'm going to talk about tables. In the previous tutorial, we talked about logical database structure, and we discussed that there are various objects in the logical database structure. Table is the first one that we'll be discussing. Table is a basic unit of storage in a database. So when users create a table, the table is stored on the storage level in a data segment. Eventually, data segment could be mapped to one physical file or multiple files if we are partitioning it, but that is out of the scope right now. What you need to understand is the table is an object in a logical database structure, and data segment is an object in the logical storage structure. So it's a different way of looking at the database. Okay, so users deal with tables, and they are not really concerned with the data segments, how it's stored in the back end, while DBAs can have access to the storage clauses and can have access to the data segment in which the table is represented. Table stores information about entities. So when you create a table, you want to store information about certain entity in the database. For example, you're going to create table employees to represent an entity employee. Okay, a table has multiple rows, and of course rows can grow vertically. Rows are also known as records. So each row or record represent an instance of the entity. For example, if you have created a table employees, then each record will represent an employee in a company. For example, there would be a row for Scott, there would be another row for Larry. It's not going to be like you have a half row for Scott and the remaining half belongs to Larry. The whole record will be pointing to one instance of an employee. A table has multiple columns. When you create a column, you start table with certain columns, and columns really don't grow just like with the same frequency as records, but you can add more columns to the table as well. So you can say columns can grow horizontally if you have to. A column represents an attribute of the entity. For example, if you have created a table employees, and you might have a column name like first name, last name, like start date and salaries, etc. So each of this column is representing an attribute of the entity. Entity is like thing of importance, right? So that's what columns are representing. In terms of rows and columns, a table resembles a spreadsheet. Okay, so if you want to imagine a table, the best thing to imagine is a spreadsheet. But the resemblance ends at that point. Okay, because table can do much more than spreadsheet. For example, tables are scalable. Unlike spreadsheet, scalable means like you can add millions of rows in table, and if you want to fetch a record, it will be fetched in microseconds, of course, if the database is tuned properly. But spreadsheets can't do the same job as tables can do. Okay, so you can't really use spreadsheets as a database. There are various kinds of tables that Oracle offers. Most people are only aware of relational tables that basically I just talked about, but there are other kinds of tables as well in the database. So we have relational tables. Something about relational tables, like it's very important that you should have little bit knowledge of data modeling. Data modeling means an art of creating tables. When you want to create tables, you can't just go and create tables. You have to really know why you're creating a table and what structure is the optimal structure for the table, like what columns should be there, etc., etc. So you can go to SQL02pro.com and take a tutorial on data modeling. Anyway, so other kinds of tables that Oracle offers include relational tables, temporary tables, index organized tables, object tables, external tables, cluster tables, hash clusters, sorted hash clusters, and partition tables. A DBA should know about